Ever found yourself reaching for that quick, comforting bowl of pasta after a long day?
Oh, definitely.
Or maybe, a packet of instant noodles when you just need something fast and satisfying.
We've all been there, right?
It's more than just a quick meal, isn't it? It's truly a global staple.
And that universality, the sheer scale of our global appetite for pasta and noodles, that's exactly what we're diving into today.
Right.
Because what seems like a simple, everyday comfort food is actually part of this huge, booming global market. Our mission here is to, well, unpack the hard numbers behind this incredibly popular food item
Yeah.
and maybe reveal some truly surprising insights about where the world is eating its noodles and pasta.
And this deep dive is really designed to give you a quick shortcut to understanding a massive global industry.
Right.
It's not just about what we choose to eat, It's the sheer economic force of these staples globally.
We'll look at the trends and the magnitudes that truly matter, helping you grasp the big picture of a market you probably interact with every week.
And the top-level figures are pretty fascinating. According to our sources, the global pasta and noodles market generated an incredible $61.168 billion back in 2021.
61 billion.
Yeah. But here's where it gets really interesting. It's projected to hit $75.318 billion by 2025.
Okay.
And then a staggering $114.195 billion by 2033.
Over 100 billion.
That's growing at a compound annual growth rate, or CAGR,
Yeah.
of 5.34%.
And just quickly, that CAGR, it tells you the average annual growth rate over that period.
Right. So it means this market is expanding pretty consistently year after year.
That's a healthy clip.
Okay, so let's unpack this region by region as we dig into the data. What jumps out at you? Where are the biggest appetites, the most significant growth happening?
Well, starting with North America.
Yeah.
It's currently the market leader. No surprise there, perhaps.
Mm-hmm.
But its continued projected growth is a clear indicator of just how deeply integrated these foods are into daily life there.
It certainly is. North America's market was massive in 2021, $23.305 billion. That's the largest global market share right there.
23 billion.
And is projected to reach nearly $42 billion by 2033. That's growing at a solid 5.081% CAGR.
Right. So that dominance isn't just population, like you said earlier.
It really speaks to convenience, affordability, and, the diverse culinary traditions that embrace these staples.
Exactly. And within North America, the U.S. is, well, the biggest player. Over $16.5 billion in 2021.
16.5, yeah.
Projected to add another, $12 billion in value over the next decade. That's huge.
It is.
But what's particularly interesting to me are the growth rates in Canada and Mexico.
Yep.
Canada's growing at over 6% CAGR.
Wow.
And Mexico at 5.7%. So while they start from smaller bases, their faster growth indicates a rapidly expanding appetite across the whole continent. It's not just the U.S. market.
Yeah, that's a great point. So from these established giants in North America, let's pivot across the Atlantic. Europe.
Okay.
Its market stood at $18.595 billion in 2021, projected to hit nearly $34 billion by 2033 with a 5.194% CAGR. Still very strong.
Very strong.
Now, when we think pasta, Europe, especially Italy, probably comes to mind first, right? My gut tells me Italy would be leading the charge.
Your gut's right about the heritage, absolutely. But the data, it tells a really interesting, maybe surprising story.
Although,
Well, while Italy is, the spiritual home of pasta, the United Kingdom actually led Europe in market size in 2021.
UK, really?
Yeah, over $4.1 billion, and it's projected for strong growth, too, over $8.5 billion by 2033. That's a 6.096% CAGR.
Okay, so compare that to Italy.
Italy's market was $1.8 billion in 2021. Projected growth rate's lower, 4.486% CAGR. So the UK's position really stands out.
Wow.
And Germany and France also show, pretty robust markets.
So the UK, known more for fish and chips, maybe?
Right.
Is actually outstripping Italy in pasta market size and growth. That's genuinely surprising. What does that tell us? Market maturity? Consumer habits.
It suggests a fascinating dynamic, I think. Italy is maybe a mature market, pasta's deeply ingrained, traditional, so growth might just be slower.
Makes sense.
The UK, on the other hand, could be seeing, increased adoption of pasta and noodles as convenience foods. Or perhaps it's evolving demographics, different culinary trends taking hold.
Interesting.
But here's another intriguing point from the data.
Okay.
The rest of Europe segment. It shows the highest regional CGR in Europe, 7.186%.
Whoa, over 7%. What's driving that high growth in other parts of Europe?
That's the big question, isn't it? It could be linked to factors like increasing urbanization, the rise of supermarket culture maybe,
Or maybe migration patterns?
or perhaps the influence of specific migrant populations introducing these foods to new areas.
Yeah.
It definitely signals a dynamic shift beyond those traditional pasta strongholds.
That rest of Europe surge is definitely something to watch.
Yeah.
Okay, now, here's where it gets really interesting, I think, in terms of future growth. Asia Pacific.
Ah, yes. Huge potential.
The region posted almost $12 billion in 2021, but it's projected to nearly double, $23.358 billion by 2033, growing at 5.822%. That's the highest regional KGR among the largest markets.
Indeed. Massive potential, like I said. China led nearly $5 billion in 2021, projected to almost double its market too, over $9.8 billion by 2033. Fastest growth within the region.
Okay.
Japan's also significant. But if we connect this to the bigger picture, India. That's a market to watch.
India. What are the numbers?
Projected to more than double, from about $0.6 billion to $1.31 billion by 2033. That's an impressive 6.547% CKGR.
Wow, okay.
And the real standout in our sources for overall growth rate, Taiwan.
Taiwan. You mentioned it before.
Recorded the fastest growth in the entire source data set,
Yeah.
a staggering 7.527% CGR.
7.5%. That's a huge jump for a market its size, flying under the radar, as you said.
Absolutely.
Okay, moving on. South America. Market generated over $2.6 billion in 2021, expected to reach nearly $4.7 billion by 2033. Steady growth, 4.929% CAGR.
Steady is the word. In South America, Brazil dominated the market, over $1.3 billion in 2021, projected to grow to almost $2.5 billion.
Right.
Argentina and Colombia also show consistent growth. It indicates a, steady increase in adoption across the continent, probably driven by growing middle classes, the convenience factor.
Makes sense. Okay, Middle East, another region showing robust expansion. Hit over $2.5 billion in 2021, projected to nearly double to $4.973 billion by 2033. Strong CAGR to 5.955%. This market seems to be heating up.
It certainly is. And here, Saudi Arabia led over $7.7 billion in 2021, reaching nearly $1.5 billion by 2033. Look at the CAGR, 6.587%.
6.58. That's one of the fastest growing markets globally, then.
Absolutely. Turkey and the UAE are also notably fast-growing, both projected to more than double their market size.
So what's driving that in the Middle East? Similar factors.
Seems likely. An increasing embrace of convenient, easy-to-prepare meals as lifestyles change, urbanization continues. That seems to be a common thread.
Right. And finally, let's turn our attention to Africa. This market is truly surging.
It really is.
Totaled over $2.2 billion in 2021, projected to reach over $5.3 billion by 2033.
Yes.
The CAGR, 6.097%.
That makes it the highest regional KGR after rest of Europe and Taiwan, right?
Exactly.
Africa is definitely an emerging market. Huge potential, reflects broader economic development across the continent, I think.
And within Africa,
Nigeria led over $1 billion in 2021, expected to reach almost $2.4 billion by 2033.
okay.
But South Africa also shows incredibly strong growth, projected to more than double its market size from about $500 million to almost $1.5 billion.
And a CAGR there.
An impressive 6.72%. That's one of the highest individual country CGRs we've seen anywhere.
Wow. So again, suggesting increased purchasing power, shift towards convenience.
Precisely.
Okay.
Isn't
Yeah.
it?
So let's try and put this all together. What's the big takeaway for our listener from all these numbers?
Well, I think the key insight is this. North America and Europe, they currently hold the largest market shares, yes, in absolute size.
Right. The biggest chunks right now.
Exactly. But the future growth story, it's clearly happening elsewhere. Regions like Asia-Pacific, the Middle East, and especially Africa, they're showing significantly higher growth rates.
So a potential shift in global consumption patterns.
Yeah.
More market penetration in developing economies.
That's what it looks like. Those countries with the highest KGs, Taiwan over 7.5%, South Africa 6.7%, Saudi Arabia 6.5%, India 6.5%, UAE 6.5%.
And that mysterious rest of Europe at 7.1%.
Yeah, those are the places really reshaping this market going forward. And it raises that important question again. What are the underlying economic, maybe cultural factors driving these specific surges? And conversely, you see countries like Russia, Denmark showing lower growth rates. It highlights the very dynamics, but ultimately that comfort food aspect. pasta and noodles, it truly appears to be a global phenomenon, appealing across diverse cultures, diverse economies, and evolving rapidly in some unexpected places.
It's clear our appetite for pasta noodles is, well, only getting stronger no matter where you are in the world. From that $61 billion-ish in 2021 to a projected over $114 billion by 2033. This market is really a testament to the universal appeal and the economic power of these simple staples.
It really is. And this deep dive into just two staple foods reveals these incredible dynamics of global consumer habits, economic growth. So maybe something for you to think about. What other seemingly simple commodities do you think hold such vast and growing global markets? And how might these consumption patterns reflect broader cultural shifts or economic development in ways we might not immediately see?